Step on the glass, staple your tongue, bury your friend, try to wake up.
Hello everybody, my name is Hannah and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the second video in my Jaclyn Hill Vault Palette series, and for today's palette I'm going to be playing with the Jaclyn Hill Ring the Alarm palette, which looks like this. This isn't necessarily a color scheme that I typically go for. I don't really love the warm tones. I'm more of a mauve tones kind of gal. But I'm going to be playing with the Ring the Alarm palette, and I am again doing this in palette bingo style, and the order will look the same as it did yesterday with the Dark Magic palette, which means that 1 is this one, 5, and then 6 through 10 are at the bottom. So I have again pre-selected the colors just because I find it a little bit easier going into a palette bingo that is more of a first impressions instead of just a palette bingo, to go ahead and pre-select the shades, since obviously the focus on this is more my first impressions, but I just find it more fun to do it in a palette bingo form. So the shades that I chose are Rust, which is a light warm tone brownish color, and then I chose Alert, which is a deeper, more orangey brown color. And then I also chose Mugshot, which is another matte warm tone brown, but it is less orange tone and more brown and neutral undertones, but it is still warm. And then I got Bomb A. I'm not going to say that word because I don't curse, but you know what I'm talking about, which is a metallic red color. I was so excited that I picked this color. I just found out last week that I really like the way that red looks on me, so I'm very excited to play with that shade. And then I also got On Camera, which is a really orange toned gold metallic color. So let's go ahead and pull you in closer and get started on this look. I'm not going to be wearing face makeup in this video because I just started my period yesterday and I do not feel like putting face makeup on, so let's go. I'm going to go ahead and get this look started by blending the shade Rush through my crease lightly. I want to create a light, warm-toned look instead of a heavy look, since we did a super heavy look yesterday, and I feel like a light look will just go better with this no foundation makeup look that I am going with today.
I got these beliefs that I think you want to break.
So when I applied that color, I tapped most of the shadows off of my brush because I did, like I said, want it to be a light wash of color, and it definitely applied super light like I wanted it to, and I'm sure that this color can build up super nice too. Like I said, tapped all the color off of my brush basically when I applied it because I did want it to be light. Now I'm going to go in with Alert and do a similar technique, just tapping most of that color off of my brush and going in super light-handed.
But it was really me.
I really liked the way that those two colors blended together. I'm not having any patchiness, we're not having any fallout. But again, like I said, I am tapping most of the color off, so I'm not sure if you applied this at full pigmentation if there would be fallout or patchiness, but using the technique that I'm using, we are all good. Now I'm going to go into Mugshot, which is the darker, more neutral toned. It's not neutral toned, it's still warm toned, but it is more neutral and less orangey, matte brown. And I'm going to apply that with a more precise brush in the crease of my eye and just deepen up that crease a little bit.
Just like any other, we can do whatever you want. Boy becomes a man now, can't tell a man to slow down. He'll just do whatever he.
Okay, so I was going to apply the red shade all over my lid, but I think looking at what I have so far, I'm going to go for a more golden tones look, and I'm going to use On Camera, which is that orangey tones gold all over the lid and into the inner corner, and then I'm going to smoke out the red shade on my lower lash line for a pop of color. So I'm going to go in with my brush from All Our Cosmetics that you've seen me use it in the videos. I like to pack my shadow on the lid with those if it's a metallic shadow, and so I'm going to test it out with this. This is the best for applying shimmers to the lid, so I'm going to see if this formula works well with this, and we will see what that looks like.
When I was 17, maybe a little too young, but it was real to me. And in the heat of the night, some things I've never seen. 17.
So some comments on on that metallic gold shade real quick. I have some good things and some bad things about it. So I personally prefer a shimmer shade that's a little bit softer because I feel like it just gives a punch on the lid when it is softer, and it applies a lot easier with a brush, and I don't have to go in with my fingers. However, this shadow is a little bit harder and more densely pressed, so going in with a brush is a little bit more difficult because you have to take your time and build it up a little bit more because it doesn't pick up as much, so applying it across a larger surface takes a little bit longer. However, I have found that with this particular shadow, since it is pressed so hard, going in with the brush that I used and taking my time actually made it quite easy to do a cut crease look, actually, because I didn't have to do that extra step of going in with the concealer and cutting my lid. Because this was pressed so hard, it kind of just was easy for me to mold into a cut crease kind of a look. It isn't as sharp as a cut crease would be if I went down with concealer first, obviously, but it still gives me a similar look to a cut crease and a similar application because I'm still being precise, but it's not taking me as long as going in with the concealer. But I personally still prefer a softer shadow over the hard pressed metallic formula. I don't know if that made any sense at all, but it made sense in my head. So now I'm going to go in with the red shade Bomb A and smoke that out onto my lower lash line.
I got these beliefs that I think you wanna break.
Now I'm just going to go back in with a mixture of Mugshot and Rush and blend out the outer portion of the crease just to make sure that everything is nice and blended.
Wanna be awake. Got something
I'm
hidden.
going to go add some mascara and be right back.
And he said age is just a number, just like any other. We
Alright guys, and this is the final foundationless look with the Jaclyn Hill Ring the Alarm palette. I'm actually really pleased with the way that this look came out. I didn't think that I was going to like it for two reasons. One, because I tend to hate wearing eyeshadow without foundation, as you saw in my video from last week where I wore orange eyeshadow. I felt disgusting all day because I had on eyeshadow without foundation. I just don't like the way that I feel or look when I don't have foundation on, but I do have eyeshadow on. Oh wait, the second reason. I have a habit of making lists without giving a second reason. My boyfriend always laughs at me. But my second reason was I don't go for colors like this normally because I feel like they're so warm that they kind of make my skin look orange as well. Kind of like, again, like I said in my video last week where I wore orange eyeshadow. But I think that this look turned out very pretty. I'm going to look at myself over here real quick because I can't see into the light very well. But I love, honestly, the way that this look turned out. I thought that the mattes blended super well. The metallic formula is not my favorite metallic formula on the gold shade because, like I said, I prefer a softer formula, kind of like the Anastasia Beverly Hills formula and the Norvina palette and the Soft Glam palette, the newer metallic formula that they have been putting out, where it's high impact, high shine, and just super easy to apply. But I did really end up liking the way that this look turned out through, even through the shadow not necessarily being my favorite formula, but the mattes did blend beautifully. There was no patchiness. With the matte shades, I didn't have any fallout. I did have fallout with the metallic shade, the gold one. The red shade, I would love to try one look on my lid, but it did blend out super beautifully on my lower lash line, super easily. Didn't have to dip in very much. This was one swipe on each eye, and it was high pigmentation. So yeah, I'm actually very pleased with this palette. Let me just show you again what it looks like. I don't love this color scheme because I feel like there aren't a ton of looks that you can create with it. I feel like there's a handful of looks that you can create, and then with those you can do variations, but they're all gonna look basically the same, super similar. So yeah, I feel like you could either go very gold with this or very red with this, and then within those two categories you can do different combinations of colors, but they're all going to turn out looking kind of the same, just maybe with different techniques, if that makes sense. I wish there were more variation in colors. There's just a lot of matte warm tone browns and matte deep cranberry shades and not much else. So I wish there were less of the same kinds of shades and more of other warm tone shades, if that makes sense. I feel like I've said if that makes sense a million times in this video, but I feel like I'm being kind of rambly in this video. But yes, thank you so much for watching. If you loved this video, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you've been watching my videos or have enjoyed this video and haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe down below and leave me a comment. I love engaging with you guys in the comments. It's been so fun over the past week and a half. I've grown a lot in the past week and a half, and it's so exciting to me. So thank you so much to any new subscribers, anybody who I've been engaging with in the comments. Keep doing it. It makes me so happy. It makes my day. If I'm ever having a bad day and I go and see people engaging with me in the comments, people subscribing, it just boosts my happiness so much. I've really appreciated y'all over the past week. Thank you so much again. And if you haven't entered my giveaway, it ends on February 14th, which is next week. Okay, my recording cut off because Nicholas called and he's a busy engineering major, so I really only get to talk to him while he's driving, so I definitely had to stop and talk to him because I miss him. I don't really know where I was, but enter my giveaway. It'll be linked down below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow for the next palette in this series, and bye.
What do you want from me? Why don't you run from me?